on the Indians of the second half. First on Katie Coombs.
If you've been waiting on us at home, if you want to try and fire up your live stream web feed, hopefully it's up and running now. It looks like everything here is back up and going, so tune us in on the internet. I'll tell you how in just a minute.
Shot from the baseline from Scarro. Rebound, Indians. Feeds it ahead to Bradshaw. Bradshaw with the basketball, crosses over. She's going to be fouled by Newman.
Should be third foul on Newman.
And I dropped my program, Mike, so I hope I can remember names. Thank you. Inside, or fed back into the Indians to start play again. Hutcherson cross-court pass over to Watrick. Watrick feed into Coombs. Coombs at the block, tries to feed it back up top, and it goes back court. It'll be a turnover. Coombs had position on the block, but she tried to feed it back up the top of the key and gets away from the Indians and rolls across for a backcourt violation. Turnover on the Indians. Bulldog basketball.
I showed the Indians with just 6 turnovers in the first half compared to 11 for the Bulldogs.
Sarwinski with the basketball. Left wing, that's going to be out of bounds. Yeah, out of bounds on Scarro, so the turnover. Bad pass by Sarwinski. Carried Scarro out of bounds. Foot touches the baseline, or the sideline, excuse me, and it's out of bounds back to the Indians. Hutcherson with the basketball. Left hand over to Bradshaw. Bradshaw left wing up top to Watrick. Watrick surveys down to the corner to Hutcherson. Hutcherson thought about the three. Ball fake, cross-court pass. Now down to the corner to Coombs. Sets your feet. Three-pointer by Katie Coombs. First one, no good. Good backside rebound by Bradshaw. Up, no good. Tipped around, and it's going to be controlled by the Indians out to Watrick. Now Bradshaw back in the lane. Turnaround shot in front of the rim. Good. Tough shot by Claire Bradshaw, and she gets it to go. Sarwinski with the basketball. Against Hutcherson. Down to McNamara. Inside, no good. All in and out, no good. Watrick. Bradshaw with the rebound. Feeds it ahead to Watrick. Ball fake, crosses over. She's going to be fouled by number 4, Scarro. How many is that,
That's going to be her fourth.
Fourth foul on Scarro. So just like we was talking about, just 2 fouls on Scarro to start in the first 3 minutes of the second half. Gets her 4th foul. 3rd team foul. Good pass inside to Katie Coombs. She's fouled by Downey. And she's going to go line and shoot 2.
That's going to be 4 on Downey as well.
So Scarro and Downey both pick up 2 quick fouls here to start this third quarter. I say quick fouls in the first 3 minutes. And that'll be 4 fouls on each of them, 14 fouls. Timeout. The Bulldogs. It's a full timeout, so we'll be back after this 1-minute timeout. You're listening to St. Paul Basketball on Hot 105. Worked, Mike?
Yep.
Are we up and running?
Yep.
Welcome, everybody, on the live stream. We got her up and going. You got the right name in there?
Yep.
Welcome back to Galena, Kansas. 3-point shot by Harris is no good. And now swiped away and chasing down the floor. Sarwinski comes up with it. She's down to the left wing. Guarded by Doherty. Picks up her dribble. Feeds it inside to McNamara. Now outside to Downey. 3-point shot by her. Lined up no good. Backside rebound, Elise Doherty. She dribbles down the right sideline. Pulls up. Now she's pressured from behind.
Be fouled there.
And that is a foul on the Bulldogs. Team foul number 5. And that is going to be on Newman.
Third foul on Newman. Oh, that's fourth foul on Newman. That's got her for 3.
Scarro, Newman, and Downey all has fouls. Put back shot by Coombs is good. Gives the Indians a 28-13 lead. All of a sudden up to a 15-point lead. 4 minutes, 30 seconds left to go in the third quarter. 28-13 Indians lead. Down to the corner to Sarwinski. Drives the baseline. Shot swatted out of bounds.
Emily Hutcherson, that was a heck of a block.
By Hutcherson. Albertini ends up on the ground. It's going to be out on the Indians, so it'll stay with the Bulldogs.
Might mention while we got a little break, Dan, to go to hot1055.net on the internet. That'll get you the radio station. Click on the St. Paul Indian banner and take you to the YouTube site. Find St. Paul versus Galena girls. That should be live. Click on that. You get the live stream. We got it up and running.
Bulldogs set to put the ball in play. Under their own basket. Feeds at the corner. Shot up by McNamara. No good. Short. Tipped around. It's going to be out on Downey. So it'll go back to the Lady Indians. Hutcherson with the basketball. Feeds it into Harris. Back to Hutcherson. Albertini, Harris, Hutcherson, Coombs, and Doherty on the floor for the Indians. Doherty, left wing, up top to Coombs. Inside feed to Doherty is tipped out of bounds. It's going to be a foul on Galena, 16 foul. And that's going to be on number 32, McNamara, the junior. St. Paul with the basketball. Doherty set to put the ball in play, gives it off to Albertini. Three-point shot well short, no good. And Doherty saves it in bounds, but it goes to McNamara. Feeds it ahead to Sarwinski. Sarwinski tries to feed it ahead and out of bounds off of Newman. So it goes back to the Lady Indians. Another turnover on the Bulldogs as Watrick, Struthers, and Bradshaw all check into the game for the Lady Indians. For Coombs, Albertini, and Hutcherson. Watrick with the basketball, dribbles it up the floor. Feeds it off to Bradshaw. Bradshaw crosses over down towards the baseline. Good move inside, and it's going to be a jump ball. She was tied up as she tried to go up on the crossover, and it goes right back to the Bulldogs. Full court pressure applied by the Indians. Scarro trying to get in. Boy, that had to be 5 seconds. That's going to be, foul on Elise Doherty on Sarwinski. I thought it was going to be a travel on her. It looked like she had all ball. Had to be close to a 5-second call, but no call. So second team foul on the Indians, third on Elise Doherty. That brings Hutcherson right back into the ball game. On the sideline is Scarro. Scarro feeds it into Sarwinski. And if fed ahead, nobody looking, goes out of bounds. Another turnover on the Bulldogs, goes back to the Lady Indians. Indians basketball. Hutcherson with it. Crosses the timeline over to Watrick. Watrick cross-court pass to Harris. Back to Watrick. Long three-point shot. Short, no good. Goes out of bounds. And it'll go right back to the Bulldogs. 3:11 left to go in the third. 28-13. Indians up by 15. Been stuck on this score for a little while. Bulldogs trying to get the ball in play. A lot of pressure by the Indians. Long pass. Tipped in the air. Stole by Harris. Back to Hutcherson to Watrick. Backside. No good. And that's going to be a foul on Josie Harris. That's going to be the third team foul on the Indians. Third on Harris. Brings Albertini back to the scorers table for the Lady Indians. Not sure what the discussion is. Now sub comes in the game. Albertini comes in for Harris. Full court pressure applied by the Lady Indians. Scarro with the basketball. Feeds it into Downey, tipped away. Struthers comes up with it. Fed back to Wartrick. Hutcherson, three-point shot. Short, no good. Tipped around, controlled by the Bulldogs. Scarro comes out of there with it. Dribbles down the right-hand side. Chased by Bradshaw from behind. Feeds it off to Downey. Off to Scarro. Ball fake. Drives against Bradshaw, and that's going to be a foul on Bradshaw. 28-13, 2:46 left to go in the third period.
Indians going a little cold here now.
Fourth team foul on the Indians, third on Claire. Claire has to come out of the game, picking up her third foul with 2:46 left to go in the third. Anybody else for the Indians got 3 fouls, Mike?
Bradshaw, Harris, and Doherty all have 3.
Bradshaw, Harris, and Elise Doherty all with 3 fouls. And they're all on the bench currently. Shot up, no good by the Bulldogs. Struthers with the rebound. Pushes the ball up the floor, kicks it out to Albertini, up top to Hutcherson. Right wing to Wartrick. Wartrick at the ball, back up top to Hutcherson. Hutcherson inside, feeds it to Coombs. Coombs with the move, out to Wartrick. Back into Coombs, triple teamed. Albertini, three-point shot, top of the key, no good. Wartrick with the rebound. Wartrick ball fake, shot inside, little floater, no good. And Albertini comes out there with it. Back up top to Hutcherson as they reset, cross-court pass to Struthers. Against this 1-3-1 zone applied by the Bulldogs. Hutcherson right wing, feed into Coombs, knocked out to Wartrick, three-point shot, good! Taylor Wartrick from the right baseline.
Wartrick just needs to stay outside and shoot. She's hot from out there.
Right off the behind of Newman, stolen by the Indians. Wartrick inside, loses it, and it's going to be out of bounds on her. She got it pinned against her hip, couldn't get a hold of it. Downey has come out of the game. Back in the game is McNamara. Scarro with the basketball. It's the ball in play for the Bulldogs. Looking. It's got to be close to another 5 seconds. Stolen by Wartrick off the foot of. Now the ball's loose on the floor. Still loose. Now Newman comes out there with it. Newman crosses over against Wartrick off to Scarro. Scarro down to the baseline to McNamara. Up top to Sarwinski. Sarwinski at the ball fake against Hutcherson. Inside. Boy, if she would have just stayed set, it would have been a block. But Struthers kind of rolled down with her as she drove that baseline or towards the baseline. Struthers had good position if she just kept her feet set. Sarwinski draws the foul. Is going to go to the line and shoot 2.
Boy, I'm impressed with Sarwinski being just a freshman.
At the line to shoot 2. First one. Oh, did that? Okay, now I'm confused. She scored on that, didn't she?
I didn't think it went. But
it must have went. She must have made the shot, and somehow we both missed it. And she makes the and one. Her left wing to Struthers. Cross-court pass to Hutcherson. Over to Wartrick. Wartrick ball fake. Drives in. Floater on the way. Short, no good. Rebound comes to Scarro. Scarro ahead to Sarwinski. 31-16. 15-point lead. Newman layup. Good. A little life out of Galena here late in the third period. 31-18. Indians lead by 13. Wartrick with the basketball over to Struthers. Long shot by her. No good. I'm not sure Coach Tuck going to be happy with that shot. Rebound comes out to Scarro for the Bulldogs. Down to the corner. Sarwinski, 15-footer, good. 11-point lead for the Indians. 30 seconds left to go here in the third. Timeout, Indians. 30-second timeout. We'll be back after this 30-second timeout. This is St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Welcome back to Galena, Kansas. St. Paul leads 31-20, 25.4 seconds left to go here in the third period. 30-second timeout called by Coach Tuck. A little run here by Galena late in this third period. Indians lead down to 11, was as many as 16. Albertini feeds it back up top to Watrick. Watrick to the corner to Albertini. Albertini drives inside, back up top to Watrick. Behind the back dribble, and it's going to be a blocking foul on, who's that on? Number 5, Newman, and that
should
will
be 4 on Newman too.
Watrick to the line, shoots front end 1-1. That's the 5th foul. She was just fouled out of the game as Newman. Newman, the young sophomore, just picked up her 5th foul, and Downey checks back into the game for the Bulldogs. 9.1 seconds left to go. Watrick in the third. Watrick to the line to shoot the 1-1. On its way, long, no good. Rebound is Struthers. 7 seconds, 6 seconds. Off to the corner to Coombs. To Hutcherson. Hutcherson ball fake, long three-pointer off the backboard, or off the back of the rim, no good. And at the end of 3, Indians lead 31-20. We'll be back after this 1-minute timeout. You're on St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Welcome back to Galena, Kansas, where St. Paul leads after 3 periods, 31-20, and we'll start with possession of the basketball to start the 4th quarter. Good 3rd quarter put together by the Indians. See if they can finish this ball game off here with a good 4th quarter. Doherty to Bradshaw. Bradshaw triple team, gets it off to Coombs. Coombs shot in front of the rim, little 10-footer, no good. Rebound, McNamara for the Bulldogs. Bulldogs with a little bit of a hot hand here late in that 3rd quarter. Let's see how they start the 4th quarter. Three-pointer by Sarwinski, long, no good. Rebound is Hutcherson. Hutcherson pushes the ball right down the middle of the floor, all the way down the floor, layup, no good, long. Ball's loose, and it's going to go to Downey. She's double-teamed down there, gets away from the double team. It's going to be a foul on the Indians, 16 foul on the Indians. Let's see who it's on. It's going to be on Katie Coombs, her 2nd team foul, number 6 on the Indians. 31-20. Indians up by 11. 7 minutes, 16 seconds left to go in the ball game. Scarro feeds it in to Sarwinski. Sarwinski off to McNamara. She traveled, no call made. 3-point shot, top of the key, long, no good. Rebounds loose on the floor, and it's going to be a jump ball. And possession arrow is going to go to the Bulldogs. Indians started the quarter with the basketball. And it'll stay with the Bulldogs. Scarro with the basketball for the Bulldogs. Looks at the weak side, still trying to feed it in. Finds somebody open. Feeds it way up top to McNamara. Bradshaw is going to get, it's going to be a travel. Bradshaw up tight on McNamara and caused her to travel. I thought maybe he was going to get McNamara for a push-off on Bradshaw. Hutcherson feeds it into Bradshaw. 7 minutes left to go in the game. 31-20. Indians up by 11. Same score we started the quarter with. Doherty feeds it up top to Harris. Off to Hutcherson. Hutcherson dribbles in, kicks it out to Bradshaw. Bradshaw in the lane, back out to Hutcherson. Three-pointer on the way. No good. Long or short off the front of the rim. And Downey with the rebound for Galena, and that's going to be a foul on the Indians. That's going to send Downey to the line to shoot the front end of 1-1. Downey goes to the line to shoot the front end of a 1-1. As Watrick checks into the game for Doherty. That's the fourth foul on Elise Doherty. As Downey settles in at the line. First shot on its way. No good long. Rebound. Watrick feeds it ahead to Hutcherson. Down to the corner to Harris. Across court past Coombs. 20-footer on the way. Good. Good shot by Katie Coombs. It's a 2. And that gives the Indians 33-20 lead. Shot on its way. No good. Rebound. Hutcherson. That shot put up by Scarrow. Watrick head to Harris. Harris into the front of the lane. Off the rim. No good. She's going to be fouled and go to the line to shoot 2.
That should be 5 fouls on. I must have wrote one down in the wrong column, Dan. I apologize.
Fourth foul on Scarrow. Must have given one of Newman's fouls.
That's what I did, yeah.
Scarrow. Harris's first shot is good. 34-20, 14-point lead for the Indians. Second shot on its way. Long, no good. Rebound, Claire Bradshaw. Bradshaw put back. Short, no good. Coombs with the rebound. Tries to put it back up. She's going to be fouled and go to the line and shoot 2. She's going to be fouled by Clifford. As Katie Coombs will go to the line to shoot 2. Indians lead by 14. 5:59 left to go in the ball game. Team fouls on the Bulldogs, 7 on the Indians. Coombs' first free throw right up and through there. Katie settles in for her second. On its way and good. Right through there. 36-20, 16-point lead. Sarwinski with the basketball, guarded by Hutcherson. Feeds it up top and around the horn, all the way to Scarrow. Scarrow floater on the way. Off the rim, short, no good. Sarwinski fights for it, but it's knocked out to Claire Bradshaw. Watrick down to the corner to Harris. Harris ball fake. Into Coombs. Coombs in the lane. Off the rim, no good. She's going to go to the line and shoot 2. Katie loses the ball down low quite a bit. Oh, she brings the ball down there on purpose, but she ends up getting that foul, but the ball starts clear down by her hip, and as she's going up, the ball's generally stripped out of her hands, but a lot of times she gets that foul called. Coombs up the free throw line again, right through there. Hot from the free throw line is Coombs. 5:37 left to go in the game, 37-20, 17-point lead for the Indians. On its way, good. The last 4 has looked right through there for Coombs. 18-point lead for the Lady Indians, 38-20. Sarwinski feeds it off to Scarrow. Scarrow over to Downey. 3-point shot by her. Off, no good. Sarwinski saves it inbounds. A little 10-foot floater from the baseline, no good. And that's going to be Bradshaw. Bradshaw with the rebound for the Lady Indians. Off of Hutcherson's hand. She tried to one-hand it to herself, and she loses it out of bounds. Timeout. Galena, 30-second timeout. We'll be back after this 30-second timeout. Let's St. Paul basketball, Hot 105. Welcome back to Galena, Kansas. 38-20, 18-point lead for the Lady Indians. 5:14 left to go in the game. Galena basketball coming out of this Galena 30-second timeout. Scarro feeds it into Sarwinski. Down the baseline goes McNamara. Shot no good. Sarwinski's putback no good. Rebound, Claire Bradshaw feeds it ahead to Wartrick. Wartrick drives right past Scarro. Cross the baseline. Reverse layup, no good. Knocked out of bounds by Downey for the Bulldogs, so it'll stay with the Indians under their own basket. Wartrick holds up 2 for the inbounds play. Indians line up on the 4 corners, down low and the free throw line. Elbows, feed it in. Back to the corner to Wartrick. 3-point shot long off the backboard, no good. McNamara feeds it into Sarwinski. Bradshaw only one back. Sarwinski gets it tipped out of bounds by Bradshaw. Good hands by her to knock that basketball out of bounds. It'll stay with the Bulldogs under their own rim.
Indians haven't exactly got the heat in their shots like we were hoping for this half, but they're holding their own, keeping that lead.
Actually increase the lead a little bit here of late, but it's mostly been off of free throws by Coombs. Almost a steal by Wartrick. Feeds it back ahead to Sarwinski, does Galena. Between the legs dribble by Sarwinski, gets tipped away, gets it back herself, tipped away again. This time it's back by Downey. She traveled, and that's going to be a foul on Josie Harris on Scarro, and she's going to go to the line to shoot 2 because the Indians have picked up their 10th team foul. That's 4 on Josie Harris, and Struthers checks into the game for her. Scarro to the line to shoot 2. Settles in at the free throw line. Elise Doherty comes back to scorer's table for the Indians. Shot on its way and right through there and good. Doherty checks back in. Is Elise Doherty, that is. Checks in for Taylor Wartrick. Three seniors on the squad for the Indians. Hutcherson with the basketball, crosses half court with it, feeds it off to Bradshaw, up to Doherty. Over to Coombs. Coombs up top to Struthers, to Bradshaw, to Hutcherson. Hutcherson feeds it down to the baseline to Struthers. To Claire Bradshaw. Bradshaw step back 3-pointer. Good. Nope, it's just a 2. Had a foot on the line. Down to the corner to Scarro. McNamara inside hard. Knocks Hutcherson to the ground. No call. Struthers comes out there with it. Drives down the left side to the wing. Coombs to Bradshaw. Bradshaw down to the corner to Elise Doherty. Elise Doherty cross court pass to Hutcherson. She drives with her left hand, feeds it to Struthers. 15-footer on the way, good. Sarwinski with the basketball, crosses a timeline. 42-22, Indians built 20-point lead now. 3:20 left to go in the ball game. Scarro with the basketball. 3-pointer by her, in and out, no good. Coombs with the rebound. Indians with the numbers, 3-on-2. Bradshaw with it, shot up, good. Tough shot, contact, no call, but she gets it to go. Sarwinski pushes the ball right back down the floor for the Lady Bulldogs. Gets it off to McNamara, guarded by Doherty.
She's carrying the ball.
Boy, she is. She had it clear up under, hand up underneath the basketball. Downey with it, tries to feed it to McNamara, gets it in there. Shot up and good. Who was that? Clifford with the shot, and for the Bulldogs, 24-44. Indians up by 20. Down to the corner to Struthers. Struthers dribbles back up towards the left wing, up top to Bradshaw. Over to Doherty. Down to the corner to Hutcherson. Hutcherson reverses. Now feed into Coombs, just a little too high. Good idea on the over the top. Now Scarro with the layup. Good pass. Good lead in by the Bulldogs. Back to the scorers table come Albertini and Harris. Timeout. Coach Tuck. 2 minutes left to go in the game. And it is full timeout, so we'll take a 30-second timeout. You're listening to St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Welcome back to Galena, Kansas, where St. Paul Lady Indians off to a good start here in the opening game here of the season, and they lead Galena 44-26 with 2 minutes left to go in the game.
Yeah, looking for that chemistry. You know, the Lady Indians getting out here in the first game, just kind of getting used to their new look and their new setup. People that are in the game and playing now that getting more time than what they had in the past. So, you know, it takes a little time, but the Indians looking pretty good. Got a comfortable lead here if they can hang on for 2 more minutes, but I like what I see so far.
Out of the timeout, Lady Indians with the basketball. Ava Chambers in the game for the first time tonight. Young freshman getting some playing time. Off to Harris, left wing. Dribbles towards the top of the key. Feeds it off to Doherty. Now into Chambers. Chambers in front of the rim. No, kicks it back out to Albertini. Now up to Doherty. Doherty drives with her left hand. Feeds it to Chambers. Chambers looks inside, feeds it up top to Harris. Harris towards the elbow, up and under shot, no good. Way too hard. Off to the Bulldogs. Scarro with the basketball. Albertini picks her up. Now Sarwinski guarded by Albertini. Rebound comes out to Doherty off the Sarwinski miss, and Doherty all the way down with the left hand, and it's good. 1:16 left to go in the game, 46-26. Feet ahead to McNamara, no good. Tipped out of there, loose. Harris comes out of there with it. She's going to walk with the basketball. She's on the floor trying to gather it up. Travel on the Indians, gives it right back to the Bulldogs. 1:08 left to go in the game. Indians up by 20, 46-26.
Like Kenna Doherty checking in.
Kenna Doherty checks into the game, so 2 Doherty girls on the floor, Elise and Kenna, freshman and a sophomore. Down to the corner to Scarro, shot three-pointer, good. Good screen set by Galena to get her open. Under a minute left to go in the game. Albertini with it, bounce pass over to Kenna Doherty, down to the corner, tipped out of bounds by Downey. It will stay with the Lady Indians. Albertini holds the basketball. Tries to feed into back court. Harris does to Albertini. Nobody touched it.
Should be an over and back.
She never touched it.
They don't know.
It's a legal inbounds pass because I don't think Albertini ever touched the basketball, although it was a bad pass by Harris because it went into the backcourt, but that's perfectly legal. Throw it back in the backcourt from the sideline as long as no one, well, as long as the same offensive team didn't touch it. Defensive team could have, but I don't think Albertini ever touched that ball. Now they're getting together. 48 seconds left to go in the game. With a 17-point lead, I don't know that the call matters much, but it should be Indians basketball, and it is. It remains the Indians basketball. A lot of pressure put on by the Bulldogs. See how the young freshmen and sophomores handle the pressure. Doherty trying to get the ball, looking for somebody to get it into. Looks, now tries to feed it in. Now stolen by Downey. She stopped out there by Doherty. Almost steps back court. Scarro with it, tries to drive against Harris, and she's going to be pushed out of bounds by Harris. It's going to send Scarro to the line to shoot.
That may be 5 on Harris.
2. As that is the 5th foul on Josie Harris. 46-29, 17-point lead. 38 seconds left to go in the ball game. Up to the line is Scarro to shoot 2. First shot up and good. As she settles in for her second. Scarrow at the line, 16-point lead for the Indians, now 15 as she makes them both. 38 seconds left to go in the game. Bradshaw back in the game for Harris, who just fouled out of the game. 19 fouls on the Indians, 10 on Galena. Kenna Doherty with the basketball, feeds it up top to Albertini, now over to Chambers. Chambers feeds it up top to Bradshaw. Bradshaw right wing, kicks it out to Albertini, back up top to Doherty. Doherty gets it poked away, it's loose. Now she retrieves it up against Scarrow, up above the timeline. 7 seconds left, just looking to dribble out this clock, and Scarrow with a lot of pressure. And that's going to be the ball game. St. Paul Lady Indians are off to a 1-0 start with a 46-31 15-point victory over the Galena Bulldogs. Very young Galena team. 3 seniors on the squad for the Indians, just 1 with any playing time for the Bulldogs. So they look to get stronger and better as the year goes along. So nice victory for the Indians. We'll be back with final game stats and our post-game show after this 2-minute timeout. You're listening to St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Well, welcome back to Galena, Kansas, where St. Paul comes out. Lady Indians come out with a nice victory over the Galena Bulldogs here tonight, Mike.
Yeah, it was a good game to watch, fun game to watch, and getting us kicked off here at this 2019-2020 season. And I think we're in for good things, hopefully, ahead for the Lady Indians. I think they came out here and got things dusted off early on and got some of those jitters out of their system and really started seeing some of that chemistry and getting those young girls in and making some of those team-wide adjustments that they had to make. Transitioning into a new year, but overall as the game progressed, I think it was obvious that they were starting to get back in the groove and picking up kind of where they left off last year, looking pretty good, especially in the second half. I thought they came together, played really well, and were able to put this one away against a pretty good Galena team. And you're going to have to watch Galena get some young players on there as well that are going to be pretty good themselves. So this will be fun to watch as we go on through the years, but for this year, it's an awful good start, I think, for the Lady Indians.
A real good start for the Lady Indians. Started off a little sluggish offensively, kind of picked it up there in that second half and was able to build a nice lead and just continued it through the fourth quarter. So nice. I'd call it pretty well. I think Coach Tuck probably pretty happy with the first game of the season, Mike.
Yeah, I think, obviously he's a guy that knows what he wants out of his team, and I think he'll go back and put them right back to work in practice, but they're going to have a lot more game time experience come next week with that tournament. They'll play all they want next week too. So Coach Tuck builds his teams from the ground up. They start in junior high and he just progresses them through his system, and it's worked pretty well for him in the past, and I think you're going to see it continue to work this year, so I look for good things from the Lady Indians.
Well, Mike will have all the final game stats after this next 2-minute timeout. You're to St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Say that again, Cody. 2 minute. Hey, Cody, what we're going to do is we're going to go over some stats, and then we'll take a break, and I'll tell you after that break like how many. We're liable to do like a 5 or 7 minute break. We'll see how much time before the next game starts. You can spin a couple tunes in there or something. All right, thanks. Welcome back to Galena, Kansas, as we finish up the post-game show for the Lady Indians here, where they come out with a nice victory, and we get set for the boys action here in about 10 and a half minutes. Mike, what do you got for final half stats for the Lady Indians?
Yeah, just looking down the stat sheet, Dan. It's
final game stats.
Yeah, the game stats. It's pretty interesting when you look across the top of the page and see how the scoring went by period. In the first half, Lady Indians scored 8 points in the first period, 13 in the second period, and in the second half just almost identical, 8 points in the third period and then 15 in the fourth. So pretty identical halves by the Lady Indians. I thought they shot a little better maybe from the free throw line in the second half, but looking down individually for the ladies, they were led by Taylor Watrick, who had 11 points on the night. She was 0 for 1 from the free throw line, but she was 3 out of 5 from outside the 3-point range, 4 of 14 from 2-point land. Emily Hutcherson had 8, Katie Coombs with 9. Claire Bradshaw also kicked in 9 points for the Lady Indians. Doherty had 2, and Josie Harris, the freshman, comes in her first high school varsity basketball game, puts 3 points on the board, and is able to contribute. So nice night, and she also played pretty well on defense too. Fouled out at the end of the game, but that's because she was playing good aggressive defense, I think. Overall, shooting-wise for the Lady Indians, they were 13 of 46 from the field, shot 28%. Coach Tuck won't like that. He'll want them to definitely improve that number. But from 2-point land, they were 8 out of 30, 26%. Outside the 3-point line, 5 of 16. They shot 31%. Free throw shooting, pretty good low for the Lady Indians, 13 of 18 from the free throw line, and that's 72%. Turnover-wise, I think the Indians had 9 turnovers on the night, so you're going to have some of those, and you'd like to keep that hopefully at least in single digits. You'd want to get as few as you can, obviously, but if you keep it under 10, it's probably a manageable number. But Coach Tuck will be looking at the film and trying to coach them up on, some things that they can do to protect it. But I thought they did a pretty good job of keeping the defense of the Bulldogs off of them. That Bulldog zone defense shut them down a little bit inside, as we talked about. But I think moving forward, it's going to be fun to watch how the Lady Indians progress through the season.
It will be fun to watch. Pretty good stats, pretty good ball game. Aggressive Indians. I know a lot of things I heard Coach talk pre-season to any reports I read, was he wanted to see more consistency out of this experienced Lady Indian team. And consistency, I think it means with consistency with their defense and their shooting percentage. You would like to get that shooting percentage up around 40% if you could and stay above 75% from the free throw line. And offensively was the inconsistency that the Indians has been last year and really tonight. They have trouble at times scoring, but they play really aggressive. So that you just keep shooting and keep improving that through the year, and the Lady Indians should be a pretty good, tough beat this year. We got about 7 minutes, 30 seconds before the boys tip-off. We're going to wrap up that post-game show. We're going to take a little extended break. We're going to take about a 5-minute break here, so me and Mike can take a break here before we get set for tip-off of the boys' action. So if you're listening on the live stream, it's going to go silent for a little while, but we will be back here in a little bit. We'll be back after the extended break. Here's St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. We'll be back after this extended break. You're listening to St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. You there, Cody? Did you go to break? Okay. All right. I'll holler.
No, we can't hear it.
Okay.
All right.
Hey, we'll be back. I'll holler at you in just a minute, all right? All right, thanks, man. All right, Cody, we're back. Whenever it works, there's about minute 25 before starting lineups. Welcome back to Galena here, getting set for boys action. We're going to have to go right to a break because I think they're going to play the national anthem before they go over starting the lineup. So we'll be back after this 2-minute timeout. St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Welcome back to Galena, Kansas. We go over starting lineup. Senior for the Indians. So the number we got here, number 3, Caleb Lemons, the senior. For the Bulldogs of Galena, Brett Sarwinski, the young sophomore. Second starter for the Indians is senior, number 5, Hayden Smith. For the Bulldogs, 15, Garrett Lawson, another sophomore for the Bulldogs. For the Indians, Adam Albertini, senior for the Indians. For the Bulldogs, number 20, Deacon Henson, the junior. For the Indians, number 15, senior Easton Dent. And for the Bulldogs, Colby Myers, a young freshman for the Bulldogs. And last but not least, Chandler Bradshaw, 5 seniors on the floor for the Indians. And number 23, Logan Henderson, a senior for the Bulldogs. As we get set to tip off here for boys action, Chase Bradshaw out tonight, Mike. Going to be a big loss for the Indians. still fighting a little bit of sickness.
Yeah, that's going to be tough. Get both the Bradshaw boys in there underneath, along with Easton Dent. You got some size and some strength down low. Let's be ready to get him back as soon as we can.
We'll have to see how long Bradshaw will be out, as the Indians get a lot more inexperienced off the bench. We'll see who the subs in are off the bench. Are going to go from 5 seniors to a lot of underclassmen with not much playing experience on the varsity level as far as that goes. So as we are set to tip, Hayden Smith set to tip off about number 23, Henderson, as we are underway with boys action controlled by Galena. Sarwinski with the basketball. Guarded out there by Albertini, by Lemons. St. Paul starts out in a man-to-man defense off to the left wing in Henson, now drive inside by Sarwinski, right to the rim, and good. And early lead by Galena. They lead 2-0. Man-to-man defense applied by Galena. Albertini up above the timeline. Feeds it off to Chandler Bradshaw, right wing. Screen set by Smith. Feed back to Smith. Back to Dent on the weak side. He gets the roll to go. Pass went off of Hayden Smith. Johnny on the spot was Easton Dent, and he ties the score at 2. Sarwinski with the basketball. Feeds it off to Henson. Henson looks inside up to the top of the key to Little. Oh, excuse me. I'm not sure if it's Lawson or Little that's in the game. Both are number 15 on the program. We're going to say it's Garrett Lawson. Turnover on Galena, gives it right back to the Indians. Lemons feeds it into Albertini. 7:06 left to go in the first period, tied at 2. Just underway here in the first period. Bradshaw to the corner to Albertini. Drives the baseline. Cross-court pass over to Lemons. Lemons into the lane. Shot up no good, and he's fouled. And he's going to go to the line to shoot 2. That is white number 23 will be Henderson, the senior, with the foul. First foul on Henderson. First team foul on either team. He goes in line to shoot 2. 6:53 left to go in the first period. Lemons settles in at the line. First free throw rattles in. Good. Gives the Indians a 3-2 lead. Lemons settles in for his second. Shot on its way off the back iron, no good. Knocked out of bounds, and it's going to stay with the Indians out on Galena. Dent was in that mix. It was tipped in the air and out of bounds, and they called it out on Galena. Albertini holds the basketball, looks, waits, long pass into Smith. Smith back to Bradshaw. Bradshaw into the lane, out to Albertini. 3-point shot, right wing, partially blocked. And it's going to be tipped to go out of bounds. Well, it's out. Yeah, it is out on the Bulldogs. Tipped out of bounds by Lawson. Pass inbounds. Lemons towards the rim. Floater on the way, knocked out of bounds. And Dent tried to save it in. I think that was going to be out on Galena. Sarwinski with the basketball pushes it past Lemons all the way to the rim. Shot up and good as he goes coast to coast. Streaks past everyone like they're standing in concrete. And Galena leads by 1, 4-3. Albertini with the basketball, screen set by Smith. Feeds it off to Bradshaw, left wing. Bradshaw dribbles towards the top of the key. Feeds it back to Albertini. Albertini at the elbow, back to Bradshaw. Drives the baseline. Floater up, rattles her home, and gives the Indians a 5-4 lead. Sarwinski crosses the timeline. Lemons picks him up at the top of the key, feeds it off to the right wing to Henson. Henson back up top to Lawson. Lawson back to Sarwinski. Back to Henson at right wing. Henson guarded by Bradshaw. He feeds it to Myers. Myers to Sarwinski's. Drives the baseline all the way to the rim. Reverse layup, throws it up, and almost gets it to go. And there's a foul and one. As that shot was put up by Henderson, he gets the rebound. He's fouled by Lemons. First team foul on the Indians, first on Lemons. And Henderson regains the lead for Galena. One note early on is the quickness of Sarwinski. He has just blown past the Indians a couple times.
They're going to have to contain him.
That was a circus shot on the reverse left, and he almost got it to go. Free throw is missed. 1 point lead for Galena. They lead 6-5. Bradshaw with the basketball. Crosses the timeline. Feeds it off to Albertini. Albertini holds the basketball. Dribbles to the right. Feeds it off to Bradshaw. Bradshaw dribbles left hand back up top to Albertini. Man-to-man defense applied by Galena. Off to Bradshaw. He about loses a handle on it. He regains control. Feeds it to Lemons. Lemons at the baseline, guarded by Sarwinski. Back up top to Albertini. Not much movement by the Indians on offense here, as they are being very patient. Dent back up top to Albertini, and that's got to be a foul, but no foul called. It's going to be off of Galena and stay with the Indians. A lot of contact by Henson on Smith, but no call. Chandler Bradshaw set to put the ball in play for the Indians at the sideline. Feed into the backcourt to Albertini. Dribbles with his left hand behind the back at the right or left elbow. Feeds it up to Lemons. Lemons with a couple ball fakes against Sarwinski. Feeds it back up top to Bradshaw. Halfway through this first period, Galena leads by 1, 6-5. Albertini is going to be bumped and fouled. That'll be the second team foul on the Indians. And that'll be the first foul on McLaughlin, who checked into the ball game, as well as Martin, who has just checked into the ball game. He checked in for Henson. St. Paul basketball under their own rim. Albertini holds the basketball, feeds it to Lemons. 3-point shot, left wing, off short. Ball's tipped around, controlled by McLaughlin for Galena. Down to the baseline, feed back, shot no good, layup, rebound, Smith. That shot put up by McLaughlin. Bradshaw with the basketball, crosses the timeline, feeds it back to Lemons. Lemons at left wing with it, up top to Bradshaw. Galena leads by 1, 6-5. Timeout, Coach Watrick, 30-second timeout. We'll be back after this 30-second timeout. It was St. Paul basketball, Hot 105. Welcome back to Galena High School, where St. Paul trails 6-5. St. Paul coming out of this 30-second timeout by Coach Watrick. Albertini feeds it into Bradshaw. Bradshaw now guarded by Sarwinski. Now the Galena in a zone, trying to use that quickness of Sarwinski up top, and it works, and it's turnover against the Indians. McLaughlin all the way in. That's got to be a travel. No call baits. 2-pointer. No, they called it 3.
Called a 3.
Sure looked like his foot was on the line from here. Martin buries a 3, gives Galena a 9-5 lead. 1-1 or a 2-3 zone applied by Galena. Albertini up top, gives it to Bradshaw into the elbow. Dent, shot from the elbow, blocked by McLaughlin. Rebound, Galena. And he's got to give a ball fake and go to the rim. Sarwinski feeds it down to the corner. Backdoor feed fed out of bounds, and it's going to be out on Galena. Go back to the Indians. Indians trail by 4, 9-5. Nick Sarwinski, the senior, checks into the game for the Bulldogs. Albertini with the basketball. Brett Sarwinski picks him up above the timeline. Bradshaw up top to Lemons. Cross-court pass over to Albertini. Albertini cross-court pass to Bradshaw. Loses it off his hands. Recovers. Now he feeds it back up top to Lemons. Lemons, cross back, step back, crosses over. Jump step, shot up, no good. And they're going to get him for a travel. Galena basketball, 9-5, 4-point lead, 2:31 left to go in the first period. Sarwinski with the basketball as it crosses the timeline. Crosses over against Lemons, push off, and it's going to be a push off against Sarwinski. That's going to be the third foul, player control foul. First on Sarwinski. Lemons feeds it into Albertini. Indians trail by 4. 2:18 left to go in the first period. Bradshaw, cross-court pass over to Lemons, back up top. Now back to Bradshaw. Bradshaw loses the handle again, gets poked away. And they're going to call 3 seconds. And that's a little odd from the outside man calling 3 seconds.
That's not the guy you expect to call that.
On the Indians. As the Indians, a lot of turnovers here of late. Not very many shots at the basketball in the last 2 or 3 minutes. At the rim, I mean. Feed inside, good feed inside. That's going to be a foul on the floor. Oh, they're going to give it to him on the shot. As he didn't throw the ball up until Hayden Smith come down on top of him. But that's going to send Nick Sarwinski to the line. Yeah, going to send him to the line to shoot 2. Galena leads by 4, 9-5. First shot up and good by Sarwinski. Settles at the line for his second. Galena now leads 10-5. Now it's 11-5. 6-point lead for Galena with 1:56 left to go here in the second period. Lemons feeds up to Albertini, almost stolen away. Bradshaw into the lane, cross-court pass to Lemons. Lemons drive the baseline, floater on the way, long, no good, tipped around, and it's going to be controlled by the Bulldogs. Sarwinski, nobody on him, pulls up 3-point shot, short, no good. Bradshaw with the rebound. Bradshaw brings the ball down the floor, whips it to the corner to Albertini. Smith needs to get out of the lane, and he does. Pull up jump shot by Albertini's no good. Rebound, Bulldogs. That is Henderson. Fed ahead quickly to McLaughlin. Shot up, no good. Dent with the rebound. Feeds it to Albertini. Albertini into Smith, and he loses it out of bounds, off his hands, and goes right back to the Bulldogs.
That's 5 turnovers on the Indians here in the first quarter.
As Lawson and Henson check back into the game for the Bulldogs. Brett Sarwinski and Henderson out of the game. 1 minute left to go in the first period. Galena up by 6, 11-5. Martin with the basketball. Lob inside into traffic. Somehow it's fed in there. Lawson ends up with it and scores. It was in a mire of traffic with maroon and white jerseys in there, and somehow Myers gets it to go. Now up by 8. Saved inbounds, another steal by the Bulldogs. Fed ahead, Henson with the basketball. Layup no good. Bradshaw can't get the rebound. McLaughlin tries to save it, and it's going to go out of bounds and back to the Indians.
Indians are going to have to get more aggressive on defensive boards, I think, Dan.
28 seconds left to go here in the first period. Indians trail by 8, 13-5. Haven't scored in a while. Albertini feeds it to Bradshaw. Bradshaw at right wing. Feeds it down to Lemons. Zone defense. Now cross-court pass to Albertini. 3-point shot by him. In and out, no good. Smith tries to tip it out. Does to Albertini. And he gets all kinds of contact and finally a call made. He's going to be fouled, but it's going to be on the floor, I believe. And that'll be the third team foul on the Bulldogs. Albertini's going to the line. That's what I thought. It was on the floor. Albertini's going to the line like he was going to shoot 2. Murillo comes to the scores table for the Indians. First sub of the game for the Indians. Murillo comes in for Easton Dent to give him a little bit of a breather with 6.5 seconds left to go here in the first period. See if the Indians try to set up a 3-pointer off the inbounds play here. Fed up top to Smith. Smith to Albertini. 4 seconds, 3 seconds to Murillo. Murillo back to Albertini. Shot at the buzzer. Short. No good. At the end of the first quarter, 13-5. Galena leads by 8. We'll be back after this 1-minute timeout. You're listening to St. Paul Basketball on Hot 105. Welcome back to Bulldog Country, Galena, Kansas. St. Paul boys trail 13-5 after the first period. Pretty cold shooting period for the Indians. A lot of turnovers. Pretty rusty looking to start this ball game. See if the Indians can straighten up here to start this second quarter. Not a lot of subs for the Indians. Starting 5 back on there. Going to be pretty thin off the bench this year, as they are going to have to be in shape. Chandler Bradshaw dribbles towards the baseline, pulls up, jump shot, partially blocked and short. And rebound comes to the Bulldogs all the way down. Layup, no good. No foul called. A lot of contact there. Rebound, Henson, shot back up, no good. Backside rebound, put back good. And now they call foul.
Boy, they giving Galena way too many shots.
Lawson, I think. There's a Lawson and a Little, both number 15. And shot was good, and the and one, and Lawson goes to the line for the and one. Now all of a sudden the Bulldogs lead by 10. Shot up on its way and good. 11-point lead for the Bulldogs. The Indians still stuck on 5 points. Full court pressure applied by the Bulldogs. And that's going to be off of Albertini, and a turnover. Sends it right back to the Bulldogs. 7:30 left to go in the second period. 16-5, 11-point lead for Galena. Henson feeds it back up to Sarwinski. Now down to the baseline. Shot in front of the rim is good. Good feed to number 24, Holmes. Holmes in the game. And all of a sudden it's a 13-point lead for the Bulldogs. Full court pressure applied by the Bulldogs. Albertini feeds it ahead to Lemons. Lemons over to Bradshaw. Bradshaw slows things down, top of the key. Indians going to have to be aggressive against that full court pressure. They have the quickness with Lemons and Albertini. They have the ball handlers. They just got to be more aggressive. The referee's not calling a whole lot. Feed inside to Dent now to Albertini. 3-point shot short, no good. Rebound Sarwinski for the Bulldogs. He streaks down the floor. Bounce pass way ahead to Henson. Shot on the way, short, no good. Dent with a rebound. And there's a reach by Holmes. And it'll be the 4th-15 foul on the Bulldogs. First on Holmes. Second. Excuse me. Let me slow down here.
First on Holmes.
So fouls on number 15. It's not even on Holmes.
No, that's
it's
on Lawson.
Lawson. Bradshaw at right wing with the basketball. Feeds it up top to Albertini. Albertini back to Bradshaw. Bradshaw looks inside. Cross-court pass to Lemons. Lemons feeds it to Hayden Smith. The back to Lemons. He's tripped up by Henson. 16 foul on the Bulldogs. Second on Henson. Possession remains with the Indians. Number 13, Kenyon Martin, a sophomore, checks in for the Bulldogs. Henson checks out of the game. Bradshaw with the basketball. Tries to feed it into Dent amongst everybody. No good. Sarwinski with the basketball. And that's going to be a charge. No, it's going to be out of bounds on Sarwinski, and it's going to go right back to the Indians. 18-5, 13-point lead for the Bulldogs. Albertini feeds it ahead to Bradshaw. Bradshaw against Holmes. Cross-court pass to Lemons. Drives the baseline. 15-foot jump shot partially blocked. Well short. Rebound comes to Holmes. Now Sarwinski with it. Cross-court pass. Layup good. Nobody back for the Indians. McLaughlin with the layup on the weak side. That was all created by the speed of Sarwinski, pushing that basketball down the floor. Lemons crosses over. Contact, shot up, no good. He's going to go line to shoot 2. 20-5, 15-point lead for the Bulldogs. Indians has been stuck on 5 points for about 8 minutes now. From about halfway through that first period to 5:43 left to go in the second. Lemons at the line, shoot 2, off, no good, long. As number 23, Henderson, checks back into the game. Second foul picked up by Lawson. Second free throw on the way long, no good. Holmes with the rebound. Sarwinski pushes the floor back down the floor, basketball back down the floor. He goes to the rim. He gets fouled. He's going to go line to shoot 2.
Boy, there's a lot of fouls.
All of a sudden, the whistles blow. 17 fouls on the Bulldogs. 14 foul on the Indians. First on Dent, and that's going to send Sarwinski to the line to shoot 2. First shot is good. As number 22 checks back into the game, Nick Sarwinski. Brett Sarwinski settles in for the second. It's right up and through there, 22-5. Bulldogs up by 17. Albertini with the basketball, feeds it down to Lemons, back up top to Bradshaw. Bradshaw to Hayden Smith, over to Lemons. Lemons at the baseline. Now he dribbles back towards left wing, cross court pass to Albertini. 3-point shot off the back iron, no good. Bradshaw chases it down. Bradshaw to Lemons. Lemons step back 3-pointer, short, no good. Rebound Sarwinski. He streaks down the floor, and it's going to be a foul on Adam Albertini, I believe. And it is going to be on Albertini. He got popped in the mouth by Sarwinski from behind, but he picks up the fouls, and he got the damage. And that'll be the 15th foul on the Indians. First on Adam. Adam coming off of a monster season on the football field. Sarwinski with the basketball. Now the Indians in a zone. 1-3-1 zone. Sarwinski 3-pointer off the rim, no good. Bradshaw with the rebound. Bradshaw tries to push it up to the left-hand side, crosses the timeline. Ball fake all the way to the rim, shot up, gets it to go. Good left-handed shot by Bradshaw. 4:46 left to go in the second period, 22-7. Galena leads, full timeout. We'll be back after this 1-minute timeout in the St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Number 15 is Tyler Little, Mike.
Okay. So Lawson's not out there?
No, I guess not. Welcome back to Galena, Kansas, where Galena leads 22-7. 4:46 left to go in the second period. Galena basketball. Brett Sarwinski with the basketball, guarded now by Hayden Smith. Indians in a zone, 1-3-1 zone. Sarwinski right wing with the basketball. Bounces it to the baseline, high post, wide open. Now lobs it down inside, back outside to Henson. Henson guarded by Adam Albertini. Tried to force pass inside. Knocked back out to Little. Little's reverse layup, no good. Rebound Galena. Put back, no good. And then Little gets it again and puts it up in there. 24-7. 4 opportunities for the Bulldogs, and they finally get one to go. Not a good job on the defensive boards. Bad pass by Albertini. Goes right back to the Indians. 3-on-1. Henson, layup, good. Nick Sarwinski with the score, 26-7, 19-point lead for the Indians. Hayden Smith, bad pass by him, tried to force it. Little with the basketball, feeds it off to Henson, back inside to Little. Now feeds it off to the left wing baseline, shot up and in by number 13, Martin. And Galena's getting everything to go, and the Indians can't get nothing to go, and it is 28-7, 21-point lead for the Bulldogs. Another tough
Trying to
pass
force
inside,
those
stolen
passes.
away. That's like the third in a row. They tried to just whip it into Dent. It's been stolen every time. Indians sputtering along on offense here, just 7 points. And we're 3 minutes away from the second quarter. Sarwinski, three-point shot, no good. No block out on the Indians again. They're going to have to get out of that 1-3-1 zone because there's nobody in there to rebound. Lemons was the only one trying to fight for the rebound. The other three was all standing up along the free throw line, meaning the Indians. Watching him fighting for the rebounds, there's more Galena Bulldogs down there on the offensive boards than there was Indians as Sarwinski goes back to the line to shoot two. First shot is no good. I think Coach Wattrick may have pointed that out. I heard him say, you're all three just standing out there. Sarwinski's first free throw was no good. Second one is on its way and good. 29-7, 22-point lead for the Bulldogs. 3:03 left to go here in the second period. Lemons feeds the ball into Albertini. And the Bulldogs stay in this extended zone, kind of a 2-3 or a 1-1-3, 2-3 zone. Hayden Smith with the basketball, feeds it back to Albertini, jump shot on the way, no good. Rebound the Bulldogs. Sarwinski streaks up the left-hand side. They got numbers, a reverse layup, no good. Rebound Bulldogs, put back no good. Rebound Bulldogs, put back no good again. Still, as finally they step out of bounds as the Indians unable to get back on defense. Sarwinski just streaking down the floor as shoot percentage for the Bulldogs. That opportunity was, or that trip was not very good. They had 4 opportunities right underneath the rim as McLaughlin couldn't get them to go. Back to Albertini now on offense, and he gets it swatted away, knocked out of bounds by Hanson. It's going to be off of Albertini and go out of bounds. Galena basketball. Sarwinski with it. Indian State in this 1-3-1 zone. Sarwinski with it down to the corner. McLaughlin cross court pass to Henson. Steal in there by off his fingertips. Bradshaw comes down with it. Bradshaw down the left side. In the elbow. Gets it stolen away on a bad pass to McLaughlin. Back ahead to Sarwinski. Sarwinski all the way to the rim. Layup good.
Well, Indians just can't get anything when they try to get back on defense.
Lemons with the basketball, 31-7. Shot up by Bradshaw, no good. Quick rebound, quick shot by Galena, or rebound by Galena. Sarwinski with the basketball. Down to the corner, McLaughlin, and it's going to be out of bounds off of the Indians as he tried to get it into Little as Austin O'Hara and Ivan Murillo both check into the game for the Indians. Hayden Smith and Chandler Bradshaw check out. Quick pass inside the Little, shot up no good, and tie up. His jump ball possession is going to go to the Bulldogs. Sarwinski set to put the ball in play under their own rim. 31-7 is the lead by the Bulldogs. Sarwinski, three-point shot left wing, good. 34-7. Galena leads big. Lemons with the basketball. Drives the baseline, shot up, quick, no good, knocked out of bounds. It's going to be, whoop, now they're going to get together and figure out who's it off of. And they're going to be called off of the Indians, and it's going to go back to the Bulldogs. Number 24 checks into the game is Holmes, as well as number 13, Martin. Galena basketball, they lead big, 34-7, 1:01 left to go here before halftime. 1-2-2 zone by the Indians now. otherwise maybe known as a 3-2 zone. 3-point shot left wing off the iron, no good. Knocked out of bounds off of Galena. And it goes back to the Indians. 44 seconds left to go in the first half. Galena up 34-7. They lead by 27. Albertini against Sarwinski. To Lemons. Albertini 3-point shot left wing long, no good. Rebound. McLaughlin feeds it ahead to Sarwinski. Sarwinski's up and under shot, rolls around, bounces off, no good. And out of there comes Albertini. He's going to be fouled by Sarwinski, I believe. It'll be the 8th team foul on the Bulldogs. That'll send Albertini to the line, shoot a 1-of-1 with 22.5 seconds left to go here in the first period. Adams settles into the line to shoot the front end of the 1-1. With 22.5 seconds left to go. Just 2 points scored in this corner by the Indians so far, just 5 in the first. As he makes the front end of the 1-on-1. So good defense, a lot of turnovers, poor shooting by the Indians. Have them with just 8 points so far in this first half. Second shot on its way up and through and good. 34-9. 20 seconds left to go. Sarwinski with the basketball for the Bulldogs. Off to the left wing. To Holmes. Back to Sarwinski. 3-point shot by McLaughlin. Long. No good. And saved inbounds of Mason Winter. He slowed down a little bit. Shot on the way. 2 seconds left.
That's Austin O'Hara.
No good. But I don't know what did I say.
You said Mason Winter.
Oh, I'm sorry. Austin O'Hara with the shot at the buzzer is no good. Galena leads the Indians 34-9 at the end of the first half. We'll be back after this 2-minute timeout. You're listening to St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Welcome back as Galena leads big over the Indians here at halftime, 34-9. The Indians are going to have to try to straighten out their offensive woes and slow down on the turnovers in the second half here, Mike.
Yeah, there's a lot of things. You're just not going the way the Indians need them to, and you mentioned a couple of them. You got turnovers, not being able to sink anything when they've got the ball, but I think also they're not doing a very good job of transitioning themselves back onto defense, and when they do get there, they're giving Galena way too many offensive rebounds when they're shooting the ball up. The Indians may there for a while. They didn't even have anyone down there trying to get in there. They had maybe Lemons was down there and Albertini and everyone else kind of just watching, but that's what they need to do. They're going to have to really get motivated when they're playing defense to get some of those rebounds and not let Galena have near as many putback shots, because they're getting some of those to fall and getting 3 and 4 shots at a time. You're just not going to be able to manage that, and you end up with a score kind of like what we've got now. But Coach Watrick, I'm sure in there is not happy with the way the Indians are playing and making it clear to them that they're going to have to do better. So hopefully they come out in the second half. Really, if you can't put points on the board, that's the main thing. You're going to have to heat up on offense, but also play a little more aggressive and have a nose for the ball and get after it a little bit more on defense as well, I think.
6:40 left to go in the halftime here. 34-9 is the lead by Galena. Mike will have the Indians' first half stats after this 2-minute timeout. You listen to St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Welcome back to Galena, Kansas, where the Bulldogs lead the Indian boys 34-9 here at halftime. What do you got for first half stats, Mike?
Well, not much, damn it. You're not going to get anything done when you've got more turnovers than you do points on the board. Indians really struggled in the first half of the whole time with their turnovers, as we talked about. They had 13 turnovers in the first half alone compared to 7 on the part of Galena. Not very many Indians on the scoreboard either. They were led by Chandler Bradshaw with 4. He was 2 out of 4 from the field. Adam Albertini had 2 points. They were both free throws. Adam struggled from outside the three-point line, tried to make something happen from deep and just couldn't get anything to fall. And then Caleb Lemons had 3 points for the Indians. He was 1 of 4 from three-point range, and then also had a free throw, 1 of 4 from the free throw line in the first half. So Indians only shot 6 free throws, made half of them. So if there is a bright spot, 50% free throw shooting, I guess it would be the bright spot, but they really got some work to do here in the second half even to get themselves back in this game.
3:12 left to go in the halftime here, where Galena leads big 34-9 over the Indian boys. As Mike said, he was pretty quick on the stats there when you got 13 turnovers.
Not a lot of stats to talk about.
Only 9 points. That is not a good first half put together by the Indian boys. I know they want to clean that up, stay in the game. You know, the Indians, one of the knocks this year in football was their schedule wasn't as competitive as they probably wished it would have been down the stretch, and you not going to be able to say that about the basketball. Galena,
That's
a
right.
very good team, and then the preseason tournament next week at St. Paul, Southeast and Columbus, both in that tournament, as well as Chitopa. So that will be a very competitive preseason tournament as the Indians try to get, or as the Indians get their basketball season underway. Let's go over that schedule here if I can find it right quick. This is where you fill in a little time.
Yeah, I was going to say, Dan, that the Indians, they got the athletes on the team. They're just going to have to get themselves working together, not make so many mistakes, trying to force that ball into the lane. Just wasn't working for them, and they couldn't get away from it. And that's one of the things that they really got to work on and try to get some chemistry between the players and get a feel for where guys are going to be and anticipate better. And I think that'll make a big difference.
Let's see if the Indians can pull things together here in the second half, play little team basketball, not get too frustrated. You could tell he was getting frustrated in that first half with all the turnovers, not being able to score. Next week, Chautauqua comes to town Tuesday night. A full slate of games Tuesday night at St. Paul. Chautauqua Junior High and High School will be in town to play Tuesday night at St. Paul. And then we roll right into the preseason tournament Thursday night. That is the opening round game of the preseason tournament for the Indians. And then Thursday night, the first set of games on the varsity side of the schedule in the tournament will be the Columbus girls playing at 4 o'clock versus Chautauqua, and then the Columbus varsity boys versus Chautauqua at 5:30, and then the St. Paul girls take the floor at 7 o'clock versus Southeast, and then the boys at 8:30 versus Southeast. And then JV side of the schedule, same night on Thursday, Columbus boys versus Chautauqua at 4 o'clock, Columbus girls versus Chautauqua at 5:30. And then St. Paul JV boys versus Southeast boys at 7, and St. Paul JV girls at 8:30. And then Thursday night, flip-flops around. Chautauqua varsity girls play Southeast first at 4 o'clock in the new gym. Chautauqua varsity boys versus Southeast 5:30, new gym. And then the St. Paul girls play at 7 versus Columbus, and the boys play at 8:30 versus Columbus on Friday. On the JV side of the schedule, in the old gym, boys Chautauqua versus Southeast 4 p.m. Girls Chautauqua versus Southeast at 5:30. And then the JV boys will play at 7 and the girls at 8:30, playing Columbus. And it says down in asterisk, JV schedules could change depending on if a school cannot play JV or cannot play the whole game. So we'll see how that all works out as we get set for the second half tip-off here, Mike. What's the Indians need to prove on to be a little more competitive here in the second half, Mike?
Well, I think they're going to have to improve on everything. They're going to have to improve shooting. They're going to have to improve rebounding. Definitely improve transition into defense. And then once they're on defense, going to have to improve on that end of the floor as well. But, if they can just, take one bite at a time and work on it as they can, that's about all you can do, because there's a lot of things that's going to need fixed, and you're not going to fix them all at once. So if in the second half, hopefully if they can get something working, they can come out of here with some positives and things to work on as they move forward.
Coach Watrick spent all his time in the locker room, so a lot of coaching going on. No warm-ups for the Indians. They just step foot on the floor and inbounds the basketball as they come out of the locker room, as looks like Galena's going to come out in a man-to-man. St. Paul starts with the basketball. Hayden Smith hands the ball off to Adam Albertini. Off to right wing, Caleb Lemons. He's guarded by Brett Sarwinski. Cutting through the lane is Bradshaw to the elbow. Pull-up shot. Lemons gets the Indians off to a good start. Scores from the right elbow. Sarwinski with the basketball. Indians coming back out in a man-to-man to start this second half. Henson with the basketball. Feed inside of McLaughlin. Gets around Dent and scores on the reverse layup. Dent went for the steal on that inlet pass and didn't get it. McLaughlin did. Or that was Tyler Little, not McLaughlin. Indians back on offense. Lemons feeds it down the corner. Albertini pull-up baseline shot blocked and saved in bounds. Now Sarwinski with the basketball. Hayden Smith goes right around him. Layup good, but it's going to be a charge on Sarwinski, so the basket's going to be no good. As Sarwinski gets whistled for the charge, Caleb Lemons had possession, as we are just underway in this second half. 25-point lead for Galena. Albertini with the basketball, picked up high by Henson, tipped away by him, saved back into Albertini. Albertini drives elbow, pull-up jump shot, no good, well short. Rebound by number 23, Henderson. Henderson feeds it back to Sarwinski, crosses the timeline, pull up three-point shot, nobody on him, and he buries it.
Got to get somebody out on him. He'll pull it up and shoot it.
Indians was in a man-to-man. I don't know who was supposed to be on him, but nobody picked him up. He was wide open, set his feet, and buried the three-pointer. He hasn't missed very many of them. 28-point lead for the Bulldogs. Bradshaw with the basketball, right wing, stands there and holds it, feeds it back up top to Lemons. And now a whistle, 3 seconds on the Indians. Nothing going on offensively. One pass made, and then a 3-second call. Standing in the lane was the Indians.
Well, there's a lot of standing around, not just in the lane on that possession.
Sarwinski with the basketball, crosses half court, picked up out there by Lemons this time. Henson with the basketball, feeds it up top to Little, now swings it around to number 22. That is Nick Sarwinski. Back to Brett Sarwinski, wild shot, no good. Easton Dent with the rebound for the Indians. Bradshaw with the basketball, drives in, gets it poked away, pulls it back, left-handed shot up, can't get the roll, rolls off the front of the rim, rebound Sarwinski, Nick Sarwinski, feeds it off to Brett Sarwinski, down to Little backdoor feed to Henson, shot up, no good, tipped around, out of bounds by the Bulldogs and goes back to the Indians. Brett Sarwinski is sophomore, Tyler Little just a freshman. A lot of playing time by that young man as a young freshman. Albertini with the basketball right down the lane. Tries to feed it to Hayden Smith and threw it right off the chest of a Bulldog. Brett Sarwinski all the way down. Layup good. 30-point lead for the Bulldogs. Lemons with the basketball. Henson in the ballgame, just a junior for the Bulldogs. Nick Sarwinski, the lone senior on the floor. Henderson also a senior. Sarwinski with the steal. Down the left side. Feeds it to Henson. Layup good.
A lot of it's awareness, Dan. The Indians just don't have much awareness of the ball or the players.
30-second timeout. With that, we'll be back after this 30-second timeout. Go St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Welcome back to Galena, Kansas. St. Paul trails 43-11 to Galena in this boys action game. Girls action, St. Paul girls come out with a nice victory over the Bulldogs of Galena in their first game of the 2019-2020 season. Started out a little rusty for the girls, but came along right good in that second and fourth quarter. First and third quarter was pretty cold for the Lady Indians, but not as cold as it's been for the Indian boys. Hayden Smith sets screen for Lemons. Lemons drive down the right side. Pull-up jump shots partially blocked. Been a lot of them. Hayden Smith, good rebound. He gets it knocked away on the putback. It's no good. And out of there comes the Bulldogs with the basketball. Henson with it. Right to Martin at the right wing. Bounce pass inside. And that's going to be a foul on Hayden Smith as he tried to reach around, poke it away from Henderson. Henderson set to put the ball in play. Third foul on Hayden Smith. First team foul on the Indians. Henderson feeds it in. Back to Henderson. Back. Three-point shot on the way. Long. No good. That shot was put up by Martin. And the putback is good by McLaughlin. And the Bulldogs lead big, 45-11. Lemons at left wing with the basketball. Off to Bradshaw. Zone. Nope. Still in the man-to-man is good shot by Lemons as he drove down the lane. Is Galena still in a man-to-man. Henson with the basketball. Picked up out there by Albertini. St. Paul stays in a man-to-man. Feed in to number 23, Henderson. Now back to Little. Little hands it off to Henson. Three-point shot off the rim. No good. McLaughlin. Putback is good. 47-13. 34-point lead for the Bulldogs. Lemons with the basketball. Indians not very deep on the bench. It's kind of showing, Mike, there's a lot of standing around going on with this man-to-man. Not much man-to-man offense being run. A lot of dribbling of the basketball and a lot of just one-on-one. That's just swatted out of bounds by Henderson off of Lemons. Brett Sarwinski, as well as Home, check back into the game for Galena. Feed in the back door to Chandler Bradshaw. In and out, no good. Rebound Hayden Smith. Put back, no good, but he's fouled, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2. Little with foul. Second team foul on the Bulldogs. Third on Tyler Little. Hayden Smith to the line the first time tonight. Settles in at the free throw line. First shot on its way and right through there. He gets in the scoring column tonight. Smith, second shot up on its way long, no good. Brett Sarwinski with the rebound. Pushes the ball all the way down the right-hand side, dribbles back out. Albertini cut him off. Good defense by him. Holmes with the basketball. Back up top to Martin. Martin Sarwinski to Little, Tyler Little against Dent. Now cutting down the lane is McLaughlin, and he's fouled, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2. Hayden Smith, number 3, Caleb Lemons with the foul. Third foul on him. Second team foul on the Indians. McLaughlin goes to the line to shoot 2. First free throw up and right through there. .229 left to go to third. 48-14. Bulldogs up by 35 now as he makes his second. So the Bulldogs have just steadily increased their lead. A little better scoring this quarter so far by the Indians, but not a lot. Lemons pull up shot off, no good. And it goes right back to the Bulldogs. Sarwinski set to put the ball in play to Henderson. Indians match up as Galena brings the ball down the floor. Indians stay in their man-to-man. Albertini picks up Sarwinski, feeds it off to Henderson. Henderson to Little, and he's going to be a foul on Dent. I thought Little traveled. It's going to be on Dent, third team foul. Second on Dent, third team foul on Indians as Ivan Murillo checks in for Hayden Smith. Henderson feeds it to Sarwinski, looks back in at him, gets it poked away for a second, chases it back down, top of the key, swings it over to Henson. Henson down the lane, floater good over the front of the ring. Albertini with the basketball, feeds it off to Bradshaw, back to Albertini, shot from the free throw line, short, no good. The rebound, Brett Sarwinski. Henson back to Henderson. Henderson feeds it to Little, back to Henderson. Cross-court pass to Sarwinski. Nick Sarwinski, shot no good. Rebound Henderson, put back no good. Tipped around, controlled out of there finally by Bradshaw for the Indians. 1:10 left to go in the third period. Indians with possession of the basketball. Right or left wing to Lemons, into Dent, goes right through his hands, and then Albertini chases it down. He's in there and he gets it swatted away into Lemons' hands. And he steps on the out of bounds line, and it goes right back to the Bulldogs. 53 seconds left to go in the third period. Bulldogs up big with possession of the basketball. Henson with the ball. Pretty quiet over there, Mike.
Well, you know, Dan, it's one of those things. I was sitting here trying to think of something to say, and there ain't a lot to say.
Brett Sarwinski pull-up jump shot is good. He is just pretty salty for a sophomore.
Watching the Indians down there, and I mean, even the Indians, when Albertini got, you know, that one swatted away on the shot, and Lemons had his, they're starting to see some of the differences, I think, too, themselves.
Lemons with the basketball at right wing with the basketball guarded by Sarwinski. Up top to Chandler Bradshaw. Bradshaw, top of the key. Off to Lemons. Lemons to Albertini. Pull up jump shot, no good, but he's fouled. He's going to go line shoot two.
You know, Albertini going to get another shot here at the free throw line. Hey, he's really struggled from the field. Hasn't made a shot yet from the field, but he's perfect from the line. Hopefully not jinxing him there, but get at him on the free throw line. Maybe he can sink some here.
Albertini's shot up, in, and out, no good.
I did it,
under
didn't I?
3 seconds. And 5 new players come in for the Bulldogs. Holmes, Martin, McLaughlin, Cockerell, and number 2 is Wesley. Or no, that's number 12, excuse me. And that's the end of the third period. End of the third period score, Bulldogs 53, Indians 15. We'll be back after this 1 minute timeout in the St. Paul Basketball Hot 105. Welcome back to Galena, Kansas, where Bulldogs are up big here to start this fourth quarter. It'll be a running clock here in the fourth quarter, I believe. Back out on the floor for the Indians, Chandler Bradshaw, Easton Dent, Caleb Lemons, Adam Albertini, and Ivan Murillo. This will be a game that the Indians want to put behind them quickly as they go into the preseason tournament next week. As they try to get the rust knocked off and get into basketball mood, now to football mode. Shot up on its way by Galena, no good. Murillo with the rebound, feeds it to Bradshaw to Lemons. Lemons with the basketball. Still a man-to-man defense applied by the Bulldogs. Lemons holds it up top. Long three-point shot by him, short, no good. Rebound, Bulldogs. Feeds it off to Cockerell, who feeds it back to number 12, Oglesby. And that's going to be knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with the Bulldogs. Mike, I don't know if it's fatigue. I'm gonna say it's fatigue.
Yeah.
There's very little motion
not
offense
much energy at all
put together by the Indians on the offensive side of the ball. It's a
Yeah.
lot of dribbling at the top of the key. There's a few screens set, but there's just not much movement. And granted, we're not very deep, so I
Right.
guess part of it's fatigue on not much cutting through the lane, not
Right.
much movement on this man-to-man against the man-to-man defense.
Well, the Indians started last year, if you remember. I think they started pretty rusty last year, and then they came around later on. But boy, games like this was tough.
McLaughlin gets the roll, extends the lead for the Bulldogs. Adam Albertini walks the ball up the floor. And there's a big difference between football shape and basketball
You bet there
shape.
is, yeah.
A lot up and down the floor, especially when you're only 6 or 7 deep. And it's going to be a big hole to fill offensively with the departure of Kenny Haney and Colin Carlson. Hayden Smith's going to have to step up in the role on offensively, try to get some points out of him, and try to bide time until Chase Bradshaw can get back out on the floor, get healthy, and get back out on the floor.
Yeah, that, football season, they only had there at the end where they were finally playing some complete games. So, yeah, conditioning could definitely be a factor.
Good inbounds play by the Indians. Bradshaw scores. He's been the lone bright spot so far tonight for the Indians.
Yeah, that's 6 for Bradshaw.
I say the lone bright spot. He has 6 of the 17 points. But it's just the first game of the season. No reason to get frustrated. You can be frustrated because you wouldn't want to get beat by anybody by this amount. Albertini on a breakaway layup. Good, and Albertini finally gets on the board for the Indians. You keep playing hard and get yourself into shape and get ready to roll right into this preseason tournament. And over Christmas break, you can work on a lot of details and keep improvement as you work your way towards regionals and sub-state. And as we get further along in the season, Mike, a rebound comes out to Indians off the miss by Galena. The regional assignments has changed a little bit this year, and they just come out the other day. So Indians look to make their way back through regionals and sub-state, try to get another state berth. And it's going to be very difficult because 1A has went back to just one division.
Right, it's going to be a little different.
And you got to make your way through regional, be one of the top 2, and then you have to win sub-state. Missed by the Indians, gives it right back to the Bulldogs. McLaughlin turnaround shot, no good. Rebound comes up, was a double dribble. He got away with it, did Cockerell. I didn't study the subs names very good, Mike. McLaughlin with the basketball. Shot up and good. Oldsby with the shot. 57-19 is the lead by Galena. Lemons with the basketball. Crossover, pull up 10-footer, good. Caleb Lemons. As the Indians finally warming up a little bit offensively. 3:43 left to go in the game. 57-21 is the lead by the Bulldogs. Down to the baseline. Triple team down there is number 13, Martin. Martin feeds it off to Holmes, back up top to McLaughlin. He feeds it over to Gillespie. No, Cockerell, excuse me. Shot from the left wing, up in the air, no good, off the rim. Rebounds Ivan Murillo. Comes out to Albertini's. Hayden Smith works his way back to the line. Albertini's going to be fouled. That'll be the 15th foul on the floor by the Bulldogs. As Smith checks in for Chandler and Bradshaw.
Indians just have 21 points in this game. We've seen them score that in a quarter, last year when they get heated up on the offensive side.
3-point shot, top of the key. No good by Lemons. Tipped out of bounds. It's going to be off of Galena and stay with the Indians. Indians are probably as tall as across the board on guard-wise. Some size for the Indians. Not Twin Tower tall, but we got a lot of 6'2" kids out there with Easton Dent, Hayden Smith, Ivan Murillo, the Bradshaw brothers. Galena back with the basketball off the miss for the Indians. Now Easton Dent with a steal. Dent, McLaughlin layup is blocked by McLaughlin. The rebound comes out to Galena.
They've really shut Dent down. He's not had many shots or opportunities for shots. They just had him completely shut down inside.
They definitely haven't called Easton's name much inside. Shot on its way. 3-point shot high off the rim. No good. Dent with a rebound. Doing a good job on the boards is Easton. Playing hard. And the shots will start to fall as the year goes along. Hayden Smith, almost a steal by Galena. Hayden Smith off to Albertini. Tried to feed it, or Dent inside with the basketball. He's fouled from behind by Holmes. 16 foul on the Bulldogs. Just a little over a minute left to go in the game. Stick around for our post-game show, KW Trucking post-game show. Good. Hayden Smith to the rim. Shot up, no good. He's fouled. He'll go to the line to shoot two off the inbounds play.
Give Hayden a chance here on the free throw line again.
St. Paul Lady Indians start out 0-1. Boys are going to start, or 1-0. Boys are going to start out 0-1. Shot up and through there. Very tough CNC opponent. Galena going to be awful good young for a few years.
Yeah, they are.
They're going to be tough in that CNC this year. Smith's second shot up and good. Galena with the basketball. Martin with it. Holmes, top of the key. Left wing over to Martin. Holmes with a three-point shot off the backboard, too hard. Adam Albertini with the rebound. Hayden Smith, layup, no good. Rebound, pulled down by Oglesby. 10 seconds left to go in the game, and that's going to be it. They're just going to dribble it out top of the key. So a little bit of rough start for the Indian boys, but they'll get things straightened out. Coach Wartrick, Coach Doherty will get things straightened out, and we'll roll right into that preseason tournament next week. We'll be back with our post-game show after this 1-minute timeout. You're listening to St. Paul Basketball on Hot 105. Welcome back to Galena, Kansas. They set the scoreboard off. Mike, what was the final score?
Well, they said I looked up to get it myself, Dan. It was bad. I can tell you